Hey, ladies, I could update you on a little information. I kind of have. I know we've talked in the past that I was thinking of doing another one of those trail races. This was called Magnificent Bastards. I don't know how much I really discussed about it. I love when I have a piece of hair that just has its own mind. Anyways, um, and this was a race where I was going to ruck it. It was a 25-pound ruck up and down a ski slope. And that was in
Oh, sorry. So easy peasy.
easy peasy. Yeah, I'm talking like it's easy peasy.
25 pounds up and down a
Yeah,
ski
up and
slope.
down.
Let's acknowledge that part. Okay.
So I have been doing all my training and everything. And I had to make a realization, a decision. And I know if you look at the three of us, we have gone through life a little. We are at a certain age and all of this. And you think you know how to make a decision or make what I'm going to quote marks here, an adult decision.
Hmm.
But I needed to like do some revamping because I had this race in July, and then in October, I always go up and help my son and daughter-in-law with Devil's Den. I'm one of the main volunteers. I've completed it. We've had that episode, but I'm also one of the main volunteers because I help at home, whatever. So I had to like sit down. I was getting ready to do everything and get ready to make my plans to go out there. And not that it was going to be a strain, not that I was going to have to, but I was going to end up having to like credit card everything to get out there. And I'm like, I didn't want to do that. Like I sat down and I've had some like financial not changes, but just tweaking I've been trying to do and everything. And I'm like, Michelle, you're going to have to make a decision. What's more important here? The October or the July? Or are you going to be a people pleaser and do both so no one's disappointed at you and think you failed? And I want you to know, I also wanted to make sure that when I did this, it wasn't a excuse to get out of doing the race.
Mm,
So there's all these dots
yeah.
that I
Layers.
was doing. Yeah, layers in this decision. And usually I make a decision like this and I like gets on my point and I just go. And that's not bad and that's not good. It's just my decision making style. And I forced myself not to make a decision for 1 week, 7 days. I didn't have a discussion with anybody. I usually do that also. Like, what do you think I should do? Right, you have your confidants that you have discussions with, and I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. I am going to sit with this for 7 days. And I did. And I made the decision not to do it. And so now I'm like, okay, now I have to have conversations. One with Helene, who we've had on the show before because she was my coach, and two with my son and daughter-in-law because they're the ones running the race. And sat there and then I'm like, and there's absolutely nobody else I owe an explanation to. I did tell my partner, like, you know, but I didn't own an explanation to that anybody. And so I'm out doing my trek around the lake and I call my daughter-in-law and I'm like, okay, I got to pull off the band-aid. She's like, what? I'm like, I really have to tell you something. And I've thought long and hard and like, how you lead up to a decision because you think you're disappointing somebody or all this stuff. And she's like, yep, yep. And I'm like, I can't do the July race. And here is my reason why I cannot do it and why I am. And I felt in my heart the importance was more in October than it was in July. And she gets very quiet and she goes, My heart stopped when you said, I have something important to talk about because I thought you weren't coming in October. And I was going to tell you, please don't come in July. I need you in October. You're such an important, intricate part of October's race. In them relieving pressure off of them of they don't have to worry about a dog sitter at night. They don't have to worry about, I could run to the store. Like I'm that little, like I fill in these little tiny gaps all along the weekend. Into I felt different in this decision making because it was like I took another step in that decision making. Like it was, but this is the way I always do it. And oh my God, I have to talk to Amber about this. I should talk to Jay about this. Or maybe I should talk to Helen and really just download it. And I'm like, no, this decision is mine. The only person I'm affecting is me. That's it. I'm not affecting anybody else. I wasn't doing the race with anybody else. I wasn't um, promising to do anything at the rate. Like it was just my decision and mine only. And I had my conversation with Helen. I did that. I had like my points. It wasn't I was nervous or I was scared or I was anything. It was just a different form of making a decision. And at the age of 66, you still can change. So I challenge anybody to change how you make a decision because you never know what's going to happen. Like I felt for the first time, I didn't feel any guilt.
Mm,
Like I didn't let anybody
well,
down.
that's big.
That's huge. Second, I didn't feel like a failure because I didn't do the race. I had legitimate reasons. We don't have to get into them because my reasons were between me and actually my son and daughter-in-law because they were like, well, what's going on, Ma? Because they wanted to make sure I was okay with it,
Right.
within my personal life. And I'm like, I am. Like, so we had this decision. But to anybody else on the outside, I could care less. I could care
So,
less.
so do you think during that week, so what was going on? Were you thinking about it, or you just sat on it for a week, or was it rolling around in your head?
It
Because I
was,
do think there is a difference between making a decision and making that adult decision where you don't feel guilty. You're not trying to people please. You're just looking at it from that perspective, which I think is very hard to
yeah,
do.
it is. And so I would ask myself those really weird questions like, did you look at every way possible to do the trip out there and like did you look at driving, did you look at this, did you look at that so I did that, so that was all taken care of, you know what I mean? And what is the importance of this race? Why are you doing this race? Well, I have my why and I understand that. So if you don't go, what's the ramification? And for me, there really wasn't one. There was, I want to do it, but there wasn't this dire like decision. So that whole week wasn't like, oh, I wonder what they're going to think. Oh, maybe I need to try to do this. Maybe I really should try to do this. It wasn't that ruminating and that constant conversation with yourself, like so they wouldn't be upset, so you weren't informed. And that's what I came out at the end is was my decision trying to fit all these pieces together just a way to please them to not think that I failed. I know that sounds odd, but that's what came to my brain. And I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I'm I'm not. I'm going out for a week in October, and that's the more important thing. Like that was more important than me completing this race. This race was it was just something I was doing. That's all I was doing. That's it was just something I wanted to do. And I'm not saying I'm never going to do it again. I can do it next year, the year after. I can do it whenever. But this really was the first time. It was very enlightening for me. Very enlightening. So I'm not
Congratulations
gonna,
on your adult decision.
and I've made a lot of adult decisions, but when I sat and I know Tracy G, you like roll your eyes at this and journaled about it. It was where was I would do it and then always have a lot of conversation afterwards, explanation. Like I always felt like I had to explain to the person why I was doing this, you know? And now I don't have to explain to anybody. And that was freeing. I think I forgot what my word was for this month. I have to go find it. I don't have it here. I forgot what my word was. So I don't know if it was bravery again. I
Yeah,
can't remember. I
yeah,
think it was bravery, but I
yeah.
also have freedom. I kept freedom. And both of
Vulnerable
those,
and patience is all,
yeah.
yeah.
So to me, those words all like threaded together in order for me to make this decision. So yeah. And you can't change your process of making a decision. And I'm not saying the way I did make decision making in the past was wrong, but this one here just blew my mind, like blew my mind. And now someone will say, "Oh, your race is coming up." No, I needed to change plans. I'm not doing it. And they stand there and they look at me like, why? Or whatever. And I'm like, so how are you doing today? Like, I just don't feel like I owe them any explanation. Where in the past, I would get into this whole thing.
It's so interesting that we have always felt that way. It's like you say, you make a decision or somebody invites you to something and you always feel like you need to provide the full explanation of your life, every detail, why you're saying no, or, unless it's just a
Yep.
yes, right?
Right.
If you're going against the grain to whatever, then it's like, oh, now I have to tell everybody why and everything. It's so interesting that we're like that.
Yep.
It's, I think there's
I
something out
do.
there that says no is is a sentence, it's a full
Yes,
sentence.
there is. I do think it is the lasting effect of people pleasing.
Right, because you made a decision and now you feel you have to validate that decision to outside world where it has nothing to do with them. So,
Mhm.
oh,
Mhm.
well, maybe they might think I'm a failure because I said I was doing this and now I'm not doing that and blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is, I think that's really wonderful. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Good for you for just staying in your own lane.
yeah, stayed in my lane.
Yeah.
So, viewer, what about you? When you make a decision, do you have to explain it? Think about how I said I had to do this. What are your feelings about that? Let us know in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Share this with somebody who you think could benefit from decision making in this format. And make sure you hit subscription and like and notification so you know when our next episode will be coming out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.